So today in Doughvember, we're going to make something that goes great with coffee. How about a crunchy biscotti, homemade? And they're so easy. The cookie is hard, but you put it in your coffee and it softens up so nice. Really, really good. Especially with that chocolate on there. And it's really great that you can freeze the dough or the cookies themselves for later, especially during the holiday times. Now, this video is part of a collaboration called Doughvember, and here are the channels and the days that their videos will appear. So Mondays is Linda's Pantries. Tuesday is me, Prepper Potpourri. Wednesday is Jenny Goff. And Thursday is Sutton Disdays. Friday is Tuli Lou Creates. And Saturday is Alderman Farms. You know, I took 2 years of Latin in high school, primarily because no one knows exactly how it's pronounced, and you know, I have problems pronouncing English, let alone a foreign language, but I hardly remember any of my Latin, so I had to look this up. But biscotti really means twice baked. It's from the Latin biscottus, or is it biscotus? Nobody really knows, right? How was it pronounced? But in Italy, they call it biscottis. So we are going to make some of these twice baked cookies today. So let me read you the recipe ingredients. Now this is a recipe a bit adapted from allrecipes.com for amazing peanut butter cup biscotti. Our ingredients are 1/4 cup milk, 1 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 3 cups all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 cup crunchy peanut butter, such as Jif Extra. So here you go, here's your Jif Extra. I have heard that if you try to use natural peanut butter, this recipe doesn't work as well. 1/2 cup dark brown sugar, 1/2 cup white sugar, 3 eggs, 1 1/2 cup peanut butter chips, and 1 bag, the 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips, or in my case, I'm using the milk chocolate ones because that's what I have. So you should have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. I have my 3 cups flour in here, and now I'm going to add my 1 tablespoon baking powder. And then I'm just going to mix it up a bit. Not stirring too hard so it doesn't go all over my counter, which I'm famous when I work with flour for getting it on myself and everywhere else. But not as bad as when I worked with my grandchildren baking. Oh boy. Anyway, mix it in really well. So I have my vanilla extract and my milk. We're just going to stir this up a little. And it's ready. Now this is where I'm not following the recipe exactly. I am actually mixing at this time my dry ingredients. So again, mix them up really well. Now I'm pouring in my eggs, my milk and vanilla. Beat that up well in my mixer. Then I'm going to gradually add my peanut butter. Be back. Now you can mix this by hand too. You don't have to use an expensive mixer, but I just happen to have a KitchenAid mixer that I actually bought secondhand from somebody at work who got married and got 2. But anyway, it's right in my pantry, so that's what's easiest for me to use. But you can use a regular electric mixer or mix by hand, whatever is best for you. So now you just have to beat your wet ingredients, then add the peanut butter, then gradually add your flour, and at the very end, add your peanut butter chips, which I found easier to mix by hand. Now you're going to want to cut this in half about, and then put it on a baking tray. I saw this suggestion, and it's a good one for your baking tray. Just, so do an X like, okay? Just putting on some olive oil. And you should be able to just see it will hold it in place, which is really nice. And now it's the hardest part of the whole thing, right? You're gonna kind of just knead it up a little bit. Wet your hands if you're sticking to it. And you're gonna want to make it more of a roll. So, and this will expand when cooking. We want these more of like a rectangle and about a 1/2 inch thick, right? And as usual, when I'm doing baking, it doesn't always turn out exactly the thickness they want, but hey, it's still gonna taste good, right? Okay, I think that's pretty good. And now we're gonna bake it in the oven until it's firm to the touch, probably about 25 or 30 minutes. If you're worried about the bottom of your biscotti getting too brown, just double pan it, and then you won't have to worry. Don't worry if it doesn't seem quite done when you take it out of the oven. You are going to be baking it again, 10 minutes each side, so it will get done. So I don't burn myself. Let me just put this a bit on the angle. I'm using a serrated bread knife, so we're just gonna want to cut it like this. Okay, looking good. Now we're going to do it at about 1/2 inch strips. And I'll be back when I'm done. Now when you're cutting it, you might see you have some little pieces come off, and you know what you have to do with those. That's right, you got to eat them. You don't want them going to waste. So it's okay if a little bit comes off when you're cutting them. Now we have them all cut up. And we're going to lay them back on parchment paper on our tray. So reduce the heat to 300 degrees in your oven. Then lay your sliced biscotti out on parchment paper. And then we're going to cook it for about 10 minutes. Take it out, flip them over, and cook it for another 10 minutes. Okay, they're out of the oven. We can add them to our wire rack to cool. And we'll be back for the final part when we dip these in chocolate. Now we dumped out our chocolate chips. We're going to put them in the microwave to melt them and check them about every 30 seconds until they're melted well. And then we do the next part. Now we're just going to take our biscotti and we're just going to, get it right in the bottom. Okay? And then we're just going to lay it on our parchment paper. And you're going to do that with each one. There you can see, now we're just going to let them dry. Doesn't that look good? Let's get dipping. Well, I've got my cup of coffee. And I got my biscotti. Let's do a dunk. Very chocolatey. But you can taste the peanut butter too. Really great. And these will even dry out a little bit more. So the neat thing about them though, let me take a sip here, is you can actually freeze the dough and make it later if you want. You want to wrap it up well with freezer wrap, or you can make the biscottis, and it's probably better not to put the chocolate on yet, and put them single layer on a cookie pan, freeze them in your freezer, then take them out and put them in an airtight glass container, which is the best, and you can leave them in your freezer for like 3 months, and then you can dip them in the chocolate whenever you want. So this is really great for the holidays too. So I hope you enjoyed my video for Doughvember. Make sure you're checking all the other videos too. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Doughvember. And as always, please subscribe, share the knowledge, and thumbs up if you like this video.